Morning. This was from this morning's bike ride along the River Wandle with my old ageing friends. Lovely dawdle. We only amble, we talk to each other, we laugh, we fall off, we stop and look at fish, stop to talk to people, have a cup of tea and come back. So we've gone about 2.5 hours, and I wouldn't say we get very fit because we don't go fast enough, but it's a lovely thing to do, and we go through a lot of this along the River Wandle. This isn't the Wandle, it's part of the Wandle river system, which is classed as a chalk stream, but it's much more than that. And it starts in Croydon somewhere, and Croydon Hills, Caterham Hills, and meanders away to the Thames at Wandsworth Bridge. Now this is at Morden Hall Park, and I did this one last week based on that background. Didn't put any trees in other than that background trees. It was an abstract, and really it's this background here, but I'm going to use different colours, and I'm going to try to put a lot of colour in this here because I'm going to change the sky. I'm not going to put all these trees in. I'll put probably this bit here, but I'm making a painting, so it doesn't matter. And I'm using a high key palette. I'll move that to one side. This is only a guide. It's not going to be copied in any way, shape or form. I've given up copying, or even trying to copy. I want to just use these photographs or my own work, or just make it up as I go along, and make art rather than copies of things, which I suppose is what I should have been doing years ago, but self-taught artists have bad teachers. So I've gone in with this blue. I'm going to put a lot of colour over this, and this is the area of marsh reeds. I suppose they would have in a bygone day been used for thatching, but now it's just left as wetlands, and it's very lovely for those of us that look. And instead of seeing tangles of things, we see colours, we see shapes, and we see light effects, light against dark all the time, counter change. Would that make a nice painting? Could I make a painting of it? Well, the answer is you can make a painting of everything. So I've added, well, I'll pour out a bit more alizarin crimson. I want to use the cadmium red with the ultramarine. Let's bring you up to my board, which usually I forget to do. Now I have started this. I started it and forgot to zoom up as usual. So we're going to go over it again now as a beginning. We've got a bit of paint on. I'm painting on an old watercolour demonstration, and I'm sorry about you watercolours for waiting for me to get back to watercolours. I'm really enjoying doing these at the moment, and I do have at least 1,800 watercolour demonstrations on YouTube, so you're not really deprived. But just have to bear with me when I get this out of my system. I'm going to put a sky in now, but the sky is not really going to be a feature. It's just going to be there because the sky is there. And I haven't got a great range of brilliant colours. I haven't got any emerald green, which is a very good mix of, but I've got Viridian, which is great when it's mixed with white and a bit of red or a bit of yellow. So I'm going to keep away from the blacks. My darkest mix, I think, is going to be from the ultramarine and the cadmium red, which is that sort of colour. I don't want any blacks in this. So I'll just go over this again here now, with this sort of mauvey colour. No white in that yet. I'll just bring that over into the grasses. I'll put loads of reds. I'm going to go over this with orange. I want to build up the coat of acrylic, and then we come up here for some just a bit larger. Okay, so that's that. And we'll put a bit of variety in the marsh grass. We can put a bit of shadow in. Because they do colours. Let's put that in there, and just a little bits of shadow in there. See, with the texture paste that I made up from the easy fill gypsum. It's called easy fill, that's a UK thing. Gypsum, fine plaster. They use it for filling in large cracks, holes in plaster, and it doesn't shrink when it dries. And when you mix it with PVA glue, which I do, diluted PVA glue, third water and 2/3. Well, there, I don't measure these things out. It takes a lot longer to dry. The open time is greater, which is lovely. The plaster of Paris does dry a bit quick. Okay, so there we are. Now, we can keep dragging his in high spots, and by doing this, we can create a web of colour. A great one for doing this sort of thing was Arthur Maddison, and you heard me mention him loads of times. His early stuff, I'm not so sure what he's doing now, but in the 70s, when Ron Ranson did a book on him, included him in a book on modern impressionists, and he featured in that, and he's just a fantastic artist, very Monet-ish, but we all have our favourite artists. He's one of mine, and another one is Jackie Gardiner, which I hope you're looking at her stuff on Google or on Facebook. That's Gardiner with an I. Fantastic painter. Greatly inspires me. So I'm changing my taste in art, even at my age, because I'm doing so much of it, I get fed up with doing the same old stuff. So here I am, doing this stuff. Abstract. Well, abstract impressionism might be a better name for it. And I've got some nice white in there. Well, off-white. That's coming down. Let's go over that. All very subtle. Right. What I was going to do the sky, haven't I? Right. Get my big brush. No, I won't. I want a large brush, but I want it to. That'll do. That one. Oh, I hope I clean that. Yes, I did. Right. So blue and white. We can put a bit of colour into that. Put down to the trees. You can keep going back over these things. Let's just put a bit of that pinky cloud in there. Nice lot of light in the sky. Let's get that in. Come in behind there. And then yellow, touch of alizarin. And just sweep that across the sky. Now, so there we have a sky. We've got a load of light in it, a bit of blue, and a bit more blue. That's not very blue, is it? We had great big white fluffy clouds going across the sky. I'm not going to put the shadow of them, but these slightly off white. But I want just a memory of what I saw, but an impression of it, sort of an abstract of it. Right, that'll do. Okay, brush clean. Now let's go back into the water, start the water. I could use these part mix sables. Right, there we go. On a small brush, thin brush. Here's my thin brush. There it is. I want to drag some orangey colour now over this, that's using alizarin and yellow, no white in there. I can put some green in there as well. It's not white there. So a bit of viridian and a pretty lemon yellow and a bit of white. And catching the line, let's put some of that in. See, this green against counter-changing against the oranges. And just keep working over that, dragging over. Nice light's catching in there. Creating this web. So this is why I can't get it out of my system, but I just love doing this and just creating this impression of lots of stuff going on. That's going to be a bit of a watch there, mainly because there's crinkles in the paper of the primer. Can't be helped. Alright, was that alright? Yeah, we've got some nice light going on there. I can go over that with a bit of the dark mauve. Get my mauve. I might do this in two parts, I'm not sure. This might take longer than the other ones, but then I'm putting more work into this one. Right, okay, so now we can go into there. We'll get this, let's get that orange going. There's much better orange than the cadmium. But we get dark in there as well. Alright, a bit of white hanging around on the blue from my sky. Hope I'm not masking you, but let's get all this in here. Plenty of paint, don't skimp on this. This is just a tangle of the trees coming out from here now, so it's closer. So we want a nice dark undergrowth there. Right, just keep those colours going. Don't worry about them not being realistic. We're trying to create something attractive rather than a copy of what is there. I have to keep reminding myself, it's hard to get away from trying to copy nature or form, but it isn't getting away from it. The Fauves manage it after the Impressionists, with all their bright colour. David Hockney manages it. Went to his exhibition at the Royal Academy 2 or 3 years ago when he'd gone back to oils and painted Yorkshire, painted his home county. Very uplifting. But I never wanted to paint like him. But it was just lovely to see how he worked. Great big canvases, well, small canvases but made into a big canvas. And BBC did a documentary on him painting for it, and it was just lovely, lovely, lovely. And there's a guy who's done his own thing and spent all his life creating art. Right, I'm going to have a bit more tea. So we've got to put a lot of colour back in there. Like greens and... Right, let's do a bit of water. Let's crack on with the water now. We've got a nice bright background, so let's put it in. So we've got the alizarin white with the tree. Let's just get it in. More we put in paint, these little slide, it'll fill in the pimples. That grey, or that blue. Oh, that's not blue, is it? Just reflects a bit of sky. And that's coming down here. And don't try to copy. Because if you're a beginner and you try and put everything in, you'd be so disappointed and discouraged that you can't do it. That you might give up, and that would be a shame, because it's only practice, it's only doing a lot of it. I'm going to put lots of oranges in here so that I can put that in the water. Let's get some of that in there. Very sort of impressionist style. Coming around there. Right, that'll do. Just come around the corner. Coming down there. I bet you're watching this thinking, God, I wish I would have any paints. I was going at it. And the beauty of acrylic, of course, is that it dries very quickly. Right. When that dries, I'm going to try and get away with putting some orange on it. I've been told you about it. Right, let's put some orange around the bank. More red. Then we can reflect that in the water. Need more white now, let's put a bit of white in with it. I keep going for the cadmium red. Look, lovely thick juicy paint. Just drag over this. By the time I put my greens back, you've got to wait for it to dry. And you build up this lovely web of colour. Get that nice and light. But obliterating what's underneath almost, but leaving enough just shining through. Okay, now then, let's get into the right hand side. This is going to be covered up, but not quite. Complementaries. Come down into the water. Got some red in there. Just lost and found, web of colour. Let's cover that. This is dry. Right, let's put some greens in now. Yeah, something's happening. Slowly. Right, green, so viridian, yellow, white. Some high key colours. Catching the light coming down here. Can go darker green in a minute. Showing the buds on the trees, put more yellow in there. Hey, look. I'll put some greys, some mauvey greys in there. Right, using the blue and the red. Oh, a bit too much white on there. Right, onto the background bit now. Put some more of those greens in. So viridian, yellow. You just keep working at it till you've got something going. Now green is complementary to orange. So it all helps to make it sing. And if you overdo it, you can go over it when it's dry. Brighten up even more, a bit more yellow. Well, that was just that cadmium or mid yellow and viridian. Very versatile colour, but you don't really use it on its own. You can use it mixed with white, make a high key, very cold bluey green. Want some more dark on that left hand side now in that bank. So let's get that. Look, just a bit more red. Just drag that down. Hitting the high spots. Into the depth there. And just all this sort of bank coming up here, and got that mauve in there. Nice dark, and so put the greens back over it. Plenty of colour. Just drag a little bit over there. Right, okay. So we've got a bit of the bank coming around there now, so we'll put that in. And I can put some light back in there, just to show the river disappearing around there. But another great landscape painter, English landscape, is David Dipnell. He's very traditional school, but a wonderful painter, gets loads of atmosphere in his work. Paint dreamy landscapes, beautiful moonlit nights, or going that way. Absolutely gorgeous work. he influenced me for quite a long time doing the doing my realist period. I should be so pretentious. I hope you don't mind me whittering on, but I'm not one for staying quiet. If there's a gap in the conversation, I usually fill it. Right, this is all reflection there. Let's put a bit of, I'll have to do that with another brush I think, to show some twigs or some branches going up there. Right, let's get that orange back. And mauve or violet is the complementary to orange. So that's why I'm doing this sort of mauvey colour. Mix a bit of white with it. Sort of a cobalt blue, but it's not as brilliant as that. But I only have used the hue. Right, more yellow, orange, more orange. See how here's the high spots. Then I can merge, alternate with the different complementaries and secondary colours. Put that in there. Right, now we'll put some greens in there. So, big wodge of fluid. They complement. Just creating this web of colour. I'll put some in here. That is, to my eye, is a gorgeous, brilliant green. By the time I put the white sky, the light of the sky back in there, that's going to sing, I hope. Right up here. More oranges. And we'll have some of this green down here. Just going over this. It's very impressionist, this, isn't it? It's totally unreal. Get a darker green in there. And by the time I put my oranges back in there, I haven't forgotten the sky, but they're still a little bit tacky, so I'm going to just leave that alone for a while. A bit darker greens. Bit in here. Bags of lemon, mid-yellow. Just a little bit of shrubbery there. I might do a little bit of a tree. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I can't do it with a rigger because there's too much on the board, too much texture. Right, okay. Yeah, I'll get some nice light green back in there, catching the top. Catching the light. I hope I can finish this in one go, but it might be a bit of a long vid, but do what most people do, wind forward through it. Look, just lost and found. Right, let's use this brush here, see what we can do with that. See a bit of orange now. Come into the light. Just dragging. not high key. That's just catching the high spots there, so let's get some of that in there. And I'll put some of it in there. By the time I got my mauves back, are you still with me? I hope I haven't gone to sleep. Right, keep the brushes clean. I've finished my tea. Sorry about slurping, my tea's gone cold. Right, let's get that back, that lovely yellowy green back in there. Right, now I need to put in some branches, so I'm going to use, I've got an inch flat here, so I'm going to, we did have, oh, I think that's gone. How's that got? That's got a bit unclean with the acrylic varnish, I think. Although I didn't clean it out, I cleaned it, but I didn't clean it up. Oh dear, how was the banana on them? Oh, that's a bit naughty, isn't it? I'm telling you to do it, and I go and failed it myself. Right, blue and red. Yeah, it's lost its flexibility. Oh, I'm going to soak that. Right, let's get that in. Do a hit and miss. If I want it darker than that, I could mix a little bit of yellow with it, but I'm not that bothered. Let's just put some of this up here. And I might try a little bit of vigour. Let's put something coming up here. Just to show there are some more trees in here. Okay, you've got branches crisscrossing. I'll do that with a vigour. Okay. Yeah, some of these here. There are lots, as you saw in the photograph, there are lots of these, but I don't want to put them all in. You get the idea. A couple goes a long way. Right, that'll do for that. I can do a little bit of vigour if it works. Let's give that a bit of a soak. It won't dissolve the acrylic. That's the thing with acrylic. The solvent for it is methylated spirits, or what you call in America denatured alcohol. Right, let's go back into some of these. Drag in some more colours of that. They're not light enough, so I'm going to just go back over that. Oops. go up into the tree line there. Just keep everything soft, and then we can go back with some of the nice mauvey shadow colour. Right, let's just go over that a little bit with a bit of cooler colour on the red side. Just to lay that back a bit in there. Oh, see that? See what happens? Just catching the high spots, just that little bit of white and a bit of colour. Not a lot, be very gentle with this, but it lays it all back into the distance. There. And we've got lots of colour in that. Now we just want to work on that there now. And then a bit more in the water. I'm going to leave the sky, I'm not going to do much more than that. Let's get some nice oranges in here now. Just go over that a little bit. And a darker red. Then I can put the mauve back. Let's just drag over that. Now, nice greens. And I can outline the bank a little bit in a minute. We'll do more work in that water now. So to do that, I'm going to have to put some more clean white down. Not pure white, just a bit of white mixed with a bit of blue. That's where we want the nice light colour in there, going around that corner. Now that's all water there, well according to the photograph, but then we're not copying the photographs as you can see. But we don't want to be completely abstract where it's a psychological piece rather than a painterly piece. No, not the right expression. It's all painterly, but bit of that dark blue. It's making my wrist hurt. Babbling brook, eh? And a little bit of sky back here. Now I want to get in some this colour now in that water, which is the yellow and the alizarin, but very, very faint. Yeah, good lump down there. Thick, dragging on paint here. Now, not a lot I can do with that now. Other than I was going to rigger, wasn't I? I'll put a little bit of rigger work in it as a final flourish. Get these mauves back in the shadow here. Bit of white in there. Oh, the banks are good too, haven't they? A bit more of that mauve in here, in that shadow. Shaking over those. Of course, they're just about dry in there. Right, rigger. I don't need white anywhere near this. Just water, which is nice and liquid. Sorry for masking you, I'll move over. Just a little bit of stuff in there. See, that looks very dark. It's a mix of blue and the red. Let's just connect that up a bit. Just some in here. To show there's some branches, twigs, all sorts of. I don't think we'll put any white in there. Right, just a little bit on that bank now. Let's use this brush here, this sable mix. Well, it's actually acrylic with a bit of sable in it. Right, mauve. Just show the bank here. Come down there. And right. I'll show some of that reflected in the water. A bit of really light colour now. Oh, it's raining. It did say possible showers this afternoon. Don't care now. Right, let's put that in the mount and see what it says. A bit of masking tape. I seldom work on over these. Once it's done, that's it. I can't. I just go on to the next one. But this is probably all I'm going to do today. I think a bike ride and mowing the lawn and doing this is enough of anybody. Well, alright, anyway. Right, I think the blue mounts on that would be appropriate. Yeah. Don't look. So it's again, it's a water meadow. There we are. So that is my painting. Let's come round to there. Oh, there we are. That's the Water Meadows, Morden Hall Park, and the Wandle, just a bit of the Wandle. It really is lovely. We're very fortunate to have this sort of living in London on our doorstep, within a bike ride away. So I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.